Let me start with something that will feel uncomfortably familiar. You have spent years trying to understand other people. Why they left, why they pulled away, why they reacted that way. But the real subject you've been circling the whole time was yourself. Today, we're going through 25 psychology facts that don't just explain human behavior. They explain the version of you that shows up when no one's watching. Stay with me. Some of these will hit. Fact number 1. Your brain doesn't experience reality. It predicts it. Psychologists have discovered that your mind is constantly running simulations, filling in gaps, anticipating outcomes, constructing a version of the world before you even see it. You have never experienced life as it truly is. You've experienced your brain's best guess of it. Read that again. You've been living inside a prediction, not reality. Fact number 2. 95% of your behavior is automatic. Research suggests that nearly 95% of what you do every single day isn't driven by conscious decision-making. It's driven by patterns, scripts absorbed in childhood, beliefs installed before you were old enough to question them. You think you're choosing. Often, you're just running old code. That's not weakness. That's conditioning. Fact number 3. You replay conversations because your brain is trying to survive them. That moment from 3 days ago you keep rewinding. Your brain isn't being dramatic. It's scanning for threat. It wants to know what went wrong so it can protect you next time. The problem is, it never quite decides you're safe enough to stop. The other person forgot the conversation before they got home. You've held a trial. Fact number 4. Deflecting compliments isn't modesty, it's self-protection. When someone says something kind and you immediately say, "Oh, it was nothing," that's not humility. Psychologists have noticed this is often a defense against hope. If you don't let the good thing land, it can't be taken away. You preempt the loss by refusing the gift. Let that sink in. Fact number 5. People who grew up in chaos are often uncomfortable in peace. From a psychological perspective, the nervous system learns what normal feels like very early. If normal felt like tension, walking on eggshells, unpredictability, then calm doesn't feel safe. It feels like the quiet before something breaks. So the person creates friction, not because they want drama, because their body doesn't trust the silence. Fact number 6. The things that trigger you most are often maps of your own unfinished work. What you react to most intensely in other people, the behaviors that feel unbearable, are very often the things you've refused to look at in yourself. Your strongest emotional reactions are breadcrumbs, leading back to the moment something first broke in you. Your triggers aren't random, they're clues. Fact number 7. How you love as an adult was largely decided before you turned 10. Attachment theory tells us that the way you pursue closeness or avoid it, who you chase, who you push away, how much intimacy you can hold before you start to self-destruct, was shaped by your earliest relationships. Not because you were damaged, because you were human, paying close attention to the first love you ever knew. Fact number 8. There is a particular loneliness that has nothing to do with being alone. You can be surrounded by people and feel completely unseen. Not the social version of you, the real one. The one that worries in the dark. The one that has never quite felt at home inside its own skin. Psychologists call the persona most people build to survive social environments the false self. The exhausting part isn't other people. It's maintaining a version of yourself that was built for someone else's comfort. Fact number 9. Perfectionism is almost never about excellence. From a psychological perspective, perfectionism is rooted in shame, the belief that mistakes don't reveal poor work, They reveal a poor self. That if you fail at something, you are the failure. So you work to be flawless, not to succeed, to avoid being exposed. Perfectionism isn't high standards, it's fear in a suit. Fact number 10. Low self-worth doesn't mean you think about yourself less. It means you think about yourself through threat. Research suggests that people with low self-worth are actually hyper-focused on themselves. Every interaction becomes a test. Every silence becomes a verdict. Every casual comment lands like a judgment. It isn't self-absorption. It's a nervous system on permanent high alert. Fact number 11. Emotional flooding makes you respond to the past, not the present. Your partner forgot to call. Somehow it feels like every time you were ever invisible. Your boss gave mild criticism. Somehow it feels like every time you were told you weren't enough. Psychologists call this emotional flooding, when a minor moment carries the full weight of every unresolved pain you carry. You weren't overreacting. You were reacting to everything at once. Fact number 12. The more desperately someone needs connection, the more likely they are to push it away. The person who was abandoned learns to abandon first. The person who was never truly heard starts talking loudly, not to be understood, but to fill the silence where understanding should have been. The defenses that protect us are the same walls that isolate us. The strange part is, it makes complete sense. Fact number 13. Every defense mechanism you have was once a solution. The walls, the avoidance, the humor that deflects serious emotion, the self-sabotage that arrives right when things get good. None of it is irrational. It was once the thing that kept you safe. The problem isn't the pattern. The problem is that you've outgrown the threat, but the pattern never got the memo. Fact number 14. Achieving a goal you didn't consciously choose often feels empty. Have you ever worked towards something for years, got it, and felt nothing? Not happy, not relieved, just hollow. When a goal is built from someone else's expectations, a parent's dream, a culture's definition of success, reaching it doesn't fill you. It just reveals the gap between where you arrived and where you actually wanted to go. You climbed the mountain. Someone else pointed to it. Fact number 15. Confidence and armor can look identical from the outside. The most defended people are often mistaken for the most confident ones. Both hold the room. Both project certainty, but one of them is free. The other is performing. Only one costs everything to maintain. Fact number 16. The moments you feel most like yourself are almost always the moments no one is watching. When there's no audience, no performance, no role to play, something relaxes. That quiet, unguarded version of yourself that surfaces when you're alone, that's not the person who needs work. That's often the most honest version of who you actually are. Fact number 17. Trauma doesn't just live in memories, it lives in the body. Research in somatic psychology suggests that unprocessed emotional pain exists as tension, as a tightened jaw, as a chest that doesn't fully expand when you breathe, as a startle response that fires for reasons you can't explain. Your body has been keeping score long before you started paying attention. This part matters. Your body remembers what your mind tried to forget. Fact number 18. People don't fear failure. They fear what failure confirms about them. It's rarely the loss of the opportunity that stings. It's the story the failure seems to tell. That you were right to doubt yourself. That the critical voice was accurate all along. What people avoid isn't the event. It's the verdict they're afraid the event will deliver. Fact number 19. Over-apologizing is often a form of people-pleasing, rooted in fear of abandonment. If you find yourself apologizing constantly for taking up space, for having needs, for existing at the wrong moment, that isn't politeness. It's a learned behavior built to manage other people's emotions at the cost of your own. You weren't being too much. You were taught to be less.
Fact number 20.
The harshest inner critic usually has someone else's voice. That relentless internal monologue telling you you're not enough, not smart enough, not successful enough. Where did it come from? In most cases, psychologists find it originated externally. A parent, a teacher, a relationship. You internalized their judgment so completely that it began to sound like your own. It never belonged to you, but you've been speaking it fluently for years. Fact number 21. Staying busy is sometimes a way of avoiding yourself. The relentless scheduling, the inability to sit still, the feeling that rest is something you have to earn. For many people, stillness is where the unprocessed grief lives. The losses never mourned, the anger never permitted, the sadness that had no safe place to land. Busyness isn't always productivity. Sometimes it's the longest possible route around yourself. Fact number 22. The exhaustion you feel that sleep doesn't fix is often emotional, not physical. There is a tiredness that 8 hours of sleep cannot touch. It's the cost of performing, of managing, of holding yourself together in spaces where you never felt fully safe to fall apart. Psychologists describe this as emotional labor, and for some people, it runs continuously, invisibly, every single day. No wonder you're tired. You've been working shifts no one clocked. Fact number 23. Self-awareness alone begins to change the pattern. The simple act of noticing, catching yourself mid-pattern and thinking, there it is again, begins to loosen its grip. Not because insight is magic, because the pattern depends on invisibility. Once you can name it, it loses a layer of its power over you. Fact number 24. You are not a fixed self. You are an ongoing process. Identity is fluid. It is being revised constantly by experience, by reflection, by the relationships you allow, by the beliefs you choose to challenge. You are not who you were, and you are not yet who you are becoming. Fact number 25. The question was never, what is wrong with me? It was always, what happened to me? Every pattern you carry makes sense when you understand the wound it grew from. You weren't born guarded, you learned to be. And anything that was learned can be unlearned. You came into this world open, curious, undefended. Life happened and you adapted. Every defense, every wall, it was evidence that you were paying attention, that you were trying. The goal was never to have no wounds. The goal is to stop letting the wounds make all the decisions. Because the moment you stop asking what is wrong with you and start asking what shaped you. That is when the real story begins. Not the one you inherited, the one you consciously write. You are not a finished sentence. You are a story, still being written. If this video felt uncomfortably accurate, that's not an accident. These facts were designed to find the part of you that already knew. Hit like if something here landed. Subscribe if you want to keep going deeper. And if there's one person in your life who needs to hear this today, share it with them. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can give someone is the feeling of being understood. I'll see you in the next one.